Some abstract stories about great achievement. Once upon a time there was a village where many people lived different by color, status and ideals. Some of them lived in peace together, others were arguing often. One day a great dispute arose. Every bond was torn and there was no trust among them any longer. Then 7 wise men gathered and decided to restore peace again. They chose 6 small children from the village and gave them an important task. We are sending every one of you to different parts of the world. Forget your names, forget your past here. Learn from life itself and then return to share your knowledge. And so the children left and each went in his own way. 3 years passed and they are all returned to the village. The 7 wise men gathered again and sat down around the children, listening to what they had to say. The first one rose. I went to a place where magic exists. I was a part of a group of scientists who wanted to cultivate it and learn how to control it. However, one of the women was conquered by greed and let magic plant a seed of darkness in her soul. One night she destroyed our laboratory and ran off, stealing everything we had worked on. Evil crawled on the streets and people went cold and empty. Someone had to stop this. Our small team stood together, but we were weak and very scared. Then our leader told me that magic exists in every one of us. We just have to believe and reach it, to take control over our own powers. So we started again from the beginning. We were working hard, day and night, when the woman that betrayed us came back and cast a terrible curse. I hid well and I watched helplessly how all of my colleagues, one by one, succumbed to the dark spell. Suddenly, I heard again the words of our leader. I pressed my hands against the wall and I wished with all my heart for a miracle. I felt how magic flew through all my body. I'd never felt more alive. In that very second, the evil woman found me, but I was no longer scared. The whole magical charge I had in me just burst away. Next thing I remember is my team, how proud they were of me. The leader told me that I was no longer needed to be there, and now I must pay the knowledge forward. So here I am, activating leadership, so that everyone in our village could feel the magic inside and learn how to use it. The 7 wise men agreed. Your new ability will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is Achiever, they said. The second child came forward. I was in a place where a great chemical catastrophe happened. I was a part of a team which had the mission to neutralize the poison and save all the people. All we had was a small container with an antidote and a rope. We had to pour it out in the heart of the contagion without getting too close. It was a hard task, but we had an idea, and in the following moment, we all knew what to do. So we split the rope into 8 pieces and each of us got one. We tied one end to the container and tied the other end. We split around the infected area, making a huge, safe circle, and we brought the container in the center. It was amazing. Everybody was listening carefully, watching closely, and thinking together as one. And we did it. We managed to lead the antidote straight to the poison and empty it, banishing the danger. Those days were very tense, and we had to be very careful and united in order to succeed. And we did it, and I still enjoy it. So I've returned to you to give you this message, how big is the importance of demonstrating integrity and how wonderful success feels afterwards. The 7 wise men agreed. Your new quality will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is Integer. Then there was the third child. I was in a city where a strong political force was trying to take away the biggest and most beautiful park in order to build a tourist complex there. A small group of green-oriented people was trying to wake up the citizens and make a long list of signatures so that they could be noticed by the administration in their attempt to save the garden. Once I went to the place where they were organizing the subscription, I was very surprised by what I saw. There were two men sitting behind a stand, doing nothing. Only if someone passed by very close, they would say "good day" or "feel welcome to subscribe." But there was not a drop of enthusiasm in their eyes, and there were no people interested. It was pathetic. So I decided I should do something. I grabbed the draft contract and the project description off the stand. I stood in the middle of the square and started shouting, "Are you true citizens of this town? Come and do your duty. Save the most beloved place in your home." I felt really confident when I did it, and I didn't stop for a couple of hours. But these hours were the most successful time of the whole campaign. There were moments when people were waiting in a queue and it was about 20 people long just for a signature. There were some grannies who wanted to sign twice, and even one who asked me why am I not in the Congress. It was amazing what motivation and persistence could do, and it felt good. After that day, the people from this small society who organized all of this didn't stop calling me to join the campaign again. But then I realized that I wasn't really needed there. I needed to be here with you. And so I came to tell you that striving for excellence is a part of the great path we had to walk on. Never give up, do your best, and your efforts will be rewarded. The 7 wise men agreed. Your wise thought will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is Excel, they said. Then the 4th child spoke out. I went to a forest full of wonder. I met a man that lived in the woods. He was a healer. He gave me shelter and made me his apprentice. He taught me the songs of the forest and revealed something very important to me. He told me that in nature everything is connected and every element could be reached through another. And our duty is to use that knowledge to keep the natural balance. One day there was a cruel battle near our home. We found a wounded man who was barely breathing. The healer told me I knew what to do and left. I stared at the stranger. He looked very weak. Then I thought he was an element of nature, like everything else here. So what could I do? I sat on the ground and started singing the songs of the forest. And then it happened. Just beneath me, healing herbs started growing and a stream of clear water started springing nearby. I thanked the earth and brought the poor man home. I made him a healing potion, and in a few days he left completely recovered. I continued helping people and other creatures using the mysterious knowledge until one day the healer told me that I was ready to go home. So here I am, passing forward what has been given to me. And let everyone know that acting sustainably is a mission we all have in order to restore the balance in our hearts and in our community. The 7 wise men agreed. Your knowledge will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is Sustainer, they said. The 5th child continued with his story. I went to a place where people were always celebrating something and the air was full of excitement. One day I heard there will be a stellar event that night, so I went down to the beach to check what was going on. I saw something amazing. It was neither dark nor bright, because the moon and the sun were in the sky together at the same moment. But that was just an occasion of something even more special. There were golden chariots all over the place, and everyone got into one and flew away in the sky. When I asked what this was about, they said that in this magical night, if you went on a chariot like this, all your wishes would come true. And then I saw that actually the same person that took off on the chariot in front of me was at the same time standing beside me on the ground. And I asked him, how is this possible? When you chase your dream, you must enjoy every moment, he said. But you also need to have a piece of you holding you tight to reality. Then you can be sure that you chase your dreams towards success and fulfillment. I was amazed by this and by what I was seeing. I was tempted to get in a chariot and just follow my hopes and wishes, but then I remembered why I was there, and I decided to come home and share with you what happened to me. I believe it is necessary that we occasionally remind ourselves about what we dream of and what we wish for. And most important, whatever we do, we should enjoy participation. The 7 wise men agreed. Your strong and true feeling will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is Enjoyer, they said. Then the last child spoke the word. I was in a place where prejudice ruled over society. There lived many people different by color and beliefs, not together with the others, but in small groups, left to live their lives in misery and isolation. It was said that they usually steal and rape and kill, and everyone should distance from them. And in the beginning I believed these stories. One day I was wandering around and I found myself passing through one of their dangerous neighborhoods. I thought I should be very careful around there in order to find my way back. As I walked through the forbidden streets, I bumped into a young man living in this very same area. He was smiling politely and asked me whether I lost something. Then I realized my bag was missing and I got very scared. I just wanted to escape, but I didn't know where to go. Before I could think a way out, he handed me my very bag and he said he found it a while ago. When I looked through it, I saw nothing was taken and everything was the way I left it. I felt ashamed. The young man invited me to join him for lunch. As minutes passed by and I spent some time with him, my fear faded away. He showed me around. There were some beautiful gardens and houses in this part of town. I found out he was no more different than me. He had his fears and hopes too, and in turn I told him my story. Time passed by very fast and I didn't realize that we spent the whole day together. When we said goodbye, we promised to meet again someday and I invited him to travel back home with me. So now he is here with me, bringing new color and nature to our society and willing to help us restore peace. I came to tell you to leave prejudice aside and share with you how much wonder the world reveals when we live diversity. The 7 wise men agreed. Your experience will give you your new identity. From now on, your name is checkered. The children stood together with the elders. They made a promise to each other that they will work side by side from now on in order to restore peace. And they decided not to stop with their own village, but to continue with the rest of the world. So they signed a contract where all children put their names and started writing a new chapter in the world's history. Now, these children are grown-up ideas who make our world whole, and they live in every one of us. Achiever, integer, excel, sustainer, enjoyer, and checker. you.